Splashy Fish was the first game that we had ever made, and the goal was to work on a game in preparation for a game jam. We wanted to do a game jam, but hadn't done a game before. Figured we would give ourselves a small scope, something that was relatively easy to do starting as a beginner. In the game, you play a goldfish named Splashy. The game's called Splashy Fish because it's a clone of Flappy Bird. So you control a goldfish named Splashy who is just trying to keep moving forward, keep swimming, and you have to dodge obstacles, and that's all you do. The core gameplay loop for Splashy Fish is jump over or swim under obstacle. The target audience is pretty much anybody. We wanted anybody to be able to play it. We used a variety of different tools. The goal of our game development was to use largely free or open source tools. Godot as the game engine and game development platform, as well as GIMP for photo editing, some hand-drawn images being scanned in with like a printer, and then our friend also helped out with the sound design, and they used whatever programs they were using that they have a license for and everything. Splashy Fish was developed to be released on itch.io. Steam has a $100 upload fee. We wanted to publish it somewhere for free so that our friends and family could try out our game. Our success criteria was to make a game that people could play over and over and over and only had a couple controls. The overarching challenge to the project was managing the project, getting each person's input to work well together, incorporating the art into making the sprite, doing the animation for the sprite, incorporating that in, getting the art for the background in and having it do the parallax that you see there, getting the right sound design. So as an example, when doing sound design, I did the sound for Splashy going in and out of the water, and I had to think to myself, what would make the sound of a goldfish going in and out of water? I thought, well, a grape's the size of a goldfish. I dropped the grape into a bowl of water and pulled it out for those two sounds, and then incorporate that into the game, give it the right timing and all of that. So it was the first game we made. It's not going to be perfect. It isn't. There's a couple things. So if you play it, a lot of people ran into this issue where when you go to the top of the screen, a branch spawns above the screen and you can just barely hit this off-screen branch and you would basically then lose your run. We did add a couple differences to Flappy Bird in Splashy Fish, 2 zones that you can be in. So one zone is the water. You could just float, and then your controls have you go up and down, and they have a little bit of like drag to them, and you'll slow down to stay in the same spot after a while. In playtesting, we were finding ourselves just like slamming against the bottom to avoid obstacles, and I was like, well, maybe we make it more challenging by, if you hit the bottom with enough speed, you actually bounce off. So you have to really be careful going close to the bottom or else you're gonna bounce. The second zone is air. When you're out of the water, you're just simply subject to your trajectory when you left the water. And so you have to really carefully plan how you're gonna leave the water and at what speed, so that you get the right arc to get through some of those obstacles that are completely above the water. And so we did the game jam, nothing related to Splashy Fish there. That was just trying out a game jam that's also on our itch page. It's not that great, but it was fun to make. After that, we started on Splashy Fish 2 Moonshine Madness. Splashy Fish 2 is going to be a 3D game. It's going to be wacky. It's been really fun to make it. It's been a really long project. It has nothing to do with being a goldfish in a pond. You're actually an anthropomorphic goldfish, a goldfish man who is defending a moonshine still from cats that are trying to destroy it. It's wacky. It's kind of a punching simulator. The main purpose in every single game we've made so far is to learn something new or something specific, achieve some sort of like micro goal. So that way, when we finish it, whether it's good or not, we can say, well, we learned something. So we're gonna use that learning on the next project. So we're not expecting these to be good by any right, but it's been a really awesome learning experience and really kind of diving into the world of what creativity is in the game development space.